Good morning, everyone. It's Catherine, getting ready to do a heavy hoop Tabata this morning. Why heavy hoop? Well, I'm gonna quiet the music for a second. So why heavy hoop Tabata this morning? Spring has sprung, and come here, Dimitri. Dimitri, here. So I have been throwing tennis balls for my Australian Shepherds. Here's Dimitri. Good boy. The problem is that I have been chucking them as hard as I can for like 4 days in a row for two frisky Australian Shepherds. So a couple of days ago, I was thinking, I wonder if I'm throwing these too hard. And then 2 days ago, real pain in the rotator cuff. And what's interesting is it's only in my right arm, and that's my throwing arm. So I am resting this shoulder, and what do you do if you've got an issue with the upper body, if your shoulders or your rotator cuff is hurting? I'm gonna go ahead and let the dog out. How are you gonna keep up with your fitness routine if you've got an issue with your shoulder? I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see what people are saying. Good morning, good morning. So what do? I've been throwing the ball for the Australian Shepherds, throwing it way too hard, and now I have a sore rotator cuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a Tabata with you this morning with a heavy hoop. So a heavy hoop is different from a hula hoop that you're gonna get. I'm just gonna leave my glasses on, even though they're kind of glaring, sorry. A heavy hoop is different from what you're gonna get at the toy store. It's easier to use because it's heavier. That being said, if you decide to try a heavy hoop, the recommendation is that you only go for 10 minutes at a time when you're first learning to use it. Believe me, trust that recommendation. When I first started to use a heavy hoop, it made me so sore. It was unbelievable. So let's begin today. Now I am gonna take my glasses off. We're gonna start with how do you get the heavy hoop rolling? And just like any new skill that you learn, you're going to have to be patient, but it's really worth it because, you know, if you ever have an injury or if you want to work on your waistline, the heavy hoop is a really, really good friend for you. So our Tabata this morning, I'm going to hoop and then I'm going to do squats and then I'm going to hoop for the entire Tabata series. So to get the hoop going, I have found that whichever direction you're going in, one of your feet can be slightly in front. And the motion isn't side to side. The motion is forward and back. So take a look. So here it is. I've got plenty of clearance and I get it going with a little fling and I'm literally moving forward and back. Centrifugal force, the hoop is moving around my waistline. So I'm gonna stop the hoop, I'm gonna catch it, and I'm gonna switch sides. I'm gonna go the other way. Now, you may find, that's a little awkward, I find that in general, I've got my right foot forward. I do better with my right foot slightly forward. Now, once you've got the hoop going, pull in those abs. Really pull them in. Now, it's been a while since I've hooped, so even just that is already starting to create some soreness around my waistline. You'll really be amazed by what this can do for you. So that's a little demonstration. Once again, if you get a heavy hoop, it can be frustrating to get started. So learn how to step forward, do that fling, and then go forward and back, maintaining contact with the hoop. And it's a very small motion. Let's begin. I've got my YouTube music. Nice thing about YouTube is so that we don't infringe on copyright, they do provide us some free music, plenty to get through our Tabata today, so I'm going to restart the music. This one's called Walk Hard, W-O-K. Now, Tabata. On my phone, I got two phones. Here it is. So let's get this up. There it is. So there's my Tabata app. So I'm gonna open it up, fire it up, and I'm going to turn the volume way up on my phone so I can hear the signal. Let's get ready.
Starting your Tabata workout. Get ready.
Get ready.
Exercise.
Here we go. All right, so I am pulling my abs in and up as tight as I can. And I am letting that hoop twist right about where my belly button is.
Rest.
So there's the rest, and as I am resting, I'm just gonna drop it to the floor. And I'm gonna take some squats. Whoops, here we go.
Exercise.
So I'm squeezing my thighs as hard as I can. Shoulders are down. I have a sore shoulder, so I'm keeping those shoulders packed. Boom. Yeah.
Rest.
So there's the rest signal, picking up the hoop, and I'm gonna go in the other direction now.
Exercise.
All right. You will always have a side, a direction that's gonna be easier. It was easier for me to learn to the left. All right, pull those abs up and in. Squeeze those glutes for all you're worth. Isometrics.
Rest.
So there's the rest. Let's go with an alternating side lunge.
Exercise.
Gonna add a little hop to that alternating side lunge to add a little intensity. Notice that my shoulders are down and protected. Nothing I'm doing today is gonna irritate my shoulders.
Rest.
Whoa, I really felt that. Back to the hoop. Isn't Tabata fun? Love it.
Exercise.
Here we go. Really just trust me. I am not just standing here. Pulling in the abs, squeezing the glutes. After menopause, we tend to see the waistline start to thicken. This can help bring it back. Woo, resting. All right. Let's go back to the traditional squats.
Exercise.
I always have this tendency to exercise through the rest. So enthusiastic. Woo! Oh, come on, belly, come on. Pull it in. Pull it in and up. Neutral spine. Think about your inner thighs.
Rest.
Notice that I don't stop when I hear the beeps. I don't stop until she tells me to rest.
Exercise.
Woo! Here we go. Fitness really can be fun and effective at the same time. It can. I'm gonna put my hands together, squeeze my glutes for all I'm worth, squeezing my inner thighs. Whew. Using isometrics to change the body. Whew. I want to keep going. It's so much fun. All right, let's go back to that alternating side lunge. Whoops, forgot to rest.
Exercise.
There, exercise. Or as I like to say, train. Train with Catherine. So here it is, done methodically, hands down to support the back. But here it is, done quickly.
Rest.
Woo! Oh, all right. Back in the other direction, waiting for the signal. Signal. Oh, that's it?
Great workout.
We're done?
1 minute 7 seconds exercise.
How can we be done? Oh, that was so much fun. So much fun, and we're done. Hello, Mr. Smiley Face. Oh, all right then, freedom friends. Injury, injury, injury. Let's talk about it, shall we? Have you heard me say before that the number one thing that wrecks a transformation program is injury? Where does injury come from? In general, in my experience, it comes from getting greedy. Gonna drink some water from Mr. Smiley Face. These are from the 70s. We used to have a whole set. Aren't they wonderful? Now the only one we have left is the yellow. So I try to take care of it. Preventing injury means not abusing the body, not overdoing it. So imagine me, I'm out there in the backyard throwing for the dogs, and my son throws so much farther than me, effortlessly, and I'm like, boy, I really would love to throw the ball as far as my son can. Greedy, I got greedy. So I'm trying to throw it harder and farther, and with a couple of days in a row of doing that, and I warned myself, I was thinking, I'm throwing this too hard. I kept doing it, so now I've got an injury. But every cloud has a silver lining, because since I hurt my shoulder, I can share with you things that you can do if you hurt your shoulder. Now, what if you don't have a heavy hoop? There are other exercises that you can do. So you could do squats, skater hops, alternating side lunges, one-legged deadlifts. What's a one-legged deadlift? It looks like this. So you're holding a weight. I love these. And you just simply come into that T. These can also be called a T-bend. So you could do those. If you were doing a Tabata and you needed to focus on your lower body because you're resting your upper body, you could do 4 different lower body exercises, and with the rest you could still train. The most important thing is a lot of times people think that self-discipline and willpower is all about pushing yourself harder and longer. But I have found with a lot of people that I work with, self-discipline is developing the humility and the will to stop and adjust when you need to. I see this so much in people who take up training in order to improve their health. These are very committed people, and very often they want their goals so badly and they want them so quickly. I'm guilty of that too, that we are willing to push too hard, not allow the body the amount of rest and recovery that it needs, and then get into trouble. So last night, I knew that I was going to be doing a live session with you this morning, and I was thinking, what can I do to honor my sore shoulder, give it time to recover, but still show you a fun and challenging fitness session? And that is where the heavy hoop came in. So once again, if you don't have a heavy hoop and you want 4 exercises for Tabata, so notice that my shoulders are down and packed. You could do squats, 20 seconds. Take your Tabata break. You could do alternating side lunge, correct? And here's another one. Take your 10-second break, and then skater hops. And look how low my arms are. This is protecting my shoulder, pulling in my abs. So there you've got 4 exercises. Well, and then you could do those T-bends. And so the only thing about the T-bend is it's a single leg exercise, which is kind of hard to do Tabata with. So let's stick with lower body Tabata, squat, alternating side lunge, and skater hop. So there you have 3 exercises, and you just do them for the entire round of the Tabata. So that is my training for you today. Now we have other news. And the news is, I am bringing back the Freedom Body Challenge. Yes, transformation contest. Back when I had Gordon Studio, we had astonishing rates of success. And back when I won the Turbulence Trainer of the Year, a lot of that first prize came from the results that I was getting with my clients through those Turbulence Training transformation contests. And I'm not sure if they're still going on. They might be. The prize money was a lot higher in those. I am offering a little less, mostly because I don't have an email list with 1 million people on it. So what I do is we do a 6-week challenge. First prize is $250 and second prize is $100. So how do you enter? You enter through email, Catherine@cardiofreedom.com, Catherine@cardiofreedom.com, and I will put that in the description, correct? the prize isn't that big. One of the reasons it's not that big is sometimes as your prize money gets to 1,000, 2,000, sometimes you start to draw in people who are, they're kind of like professional at this. They know how to like gain a lot of weight and then lose a lot of weight fast, and how to stand and do all these different gimmicky things in order to be like, oh my goodness, that looks so different. I have to admit that, so when I first did my first transformation contest, in my before picture, I stood like this, kind of schlumpy. And then in my after, it was like, oh, lovely. Now, I really did. I lost 5 inches off of my waist. I lost 14 pounds. It was legit. But the way I stood made it look a little bit more impressive. So what we are going to do is I'm going to call this the freedom stance. You're up on top of your feet. Your feet are kind of underneath your armpits. Your shoulders are back. Your abs are zipped up. And your arms are here, ready to train. So I'm going to want the before picture in this kind of stance, and then I'm going to want the after picture in the same kind of stance. We are going to focus on improving waist to hip ratio. I am the waistline woman. I'm all about drawing this in. So it's going to be less about weight loss and more about waist loss. And in addition, we're going to measure the waist and we're going to measure the hips. Why don't I do that right now? For the sake of honesty, truth in advertising. So I don't know how happy I'm going to be with this, but it's worth it. I'm asking you, if you do the contest, if you do the challenge, I'm asking you to do it, so I might as well do it too. All right, so here's how I'm going to measure. I'm finding the bottom of my ribs, which is right there, and then here's the top of my hip bones right here. Bottom of the ribs, top of the hip bones. The smallest point in between there. Now my belly button's down here, so it's a little higher than my belly button. I am going to zip up. So I am going to do that perfect posture, but I'm not going to vacuum like this. I'm not going to like over suck in, but I am going to zip up, and I'm not going to look. There it is. And it is 27.5 inches. I need to bring that down. I'm 31 inches tall. So less than 50%, so less than 30 inches would get me into the healthy range and for my waist to height ratio. However, I happen to know that when I was much younger, that my waist did get down to 24. So for really, really good health and to prevent some of the diseases that can be worsened by obesity, diabetes type 2, certain cancers, arthritis, dementia, all of these things. If we can, we want to try to keep our waistline within about 2 inches of what it was when you matured. So I know that it was as small as 24. So what I want to do is get it to 26 or less. So there it is. Oh, that reading says 27. But that's the thing. Some people will say take a measurement 3 times and then average it. Oh, let's look at the hips. So we're also trying to maintain that good waist to hip ratio. Oh, I don't even know if I want to confess this, but confession, it's good for the soul. All right, so there it is. And 38.5, so that's up. So I would like to get to, I'll be honest with you, I would like to get to 24, 36. I don't know if that's gonna happen now that I'm going on 55. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I want to reduce the waistline, but I don't want the hips to drop faster than the waist, correct? A lot of training, oops, I gotta turn the music off. A lot of training that you do, that, you know, especially old-fashioned conventional cardio, one of the things that can happen is that, yeah, your waist can get a bit smaller, but a lot of times the butt will deflate because you're losing muscle. So if we can maintain that waist to hip ratio, so if my waist is at 27 and my hip is at 38, that's a difference of 11 inches. So I want to maintain that 11-inch difference. Make sense? I hope so, because that maintenance of waist to height ratio and improvement of waist to hip ratio can show us that we're actually improving body composition, and you really can't beat that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like, subscribe, share this. Hey, maybe you know somebody who's got a sore shoulder who needs to know what to do if they want to maintain their fitness while they allow upper body, could be wrist, could be shoulder, while they allow that to heal and recover. You could share this training with them because you can train the waist with the heavy hoop, the legs with those series of squats, and so you can maintain your fitness while you honor your body and give it time to heal. That's it for me. It is Monday. Time to put together a podcast and do the work around the house and do all of the things that we love to do that keeps us happy, healthy, productive. And come back next week for another live Tabata session with me, and we'll see if I'm still using the heavy hoop, or we'll see if that shoulder is recovered by then. Let's find out. Take care, everybody. Make it a wonderful day. Putting on my glasses. Oh, one more thing. As of last night, this channel was at 888 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. 1,000 is coming very soon. And what I have been told is that things kind of change when you reach 1,000 subscribers. You get a little bit more exposure, your videos are shown more. So it's likely that it's going to be about another month that this channel reaches 1,000. So I definitely want to take that month to be continuing to improve my techniques in terms of camera, lighting, presentation, and just keep getting better so that when the channel does get a little bit more exposure, that we're ready for it. All right, that's it for me today. Have a good one. See you soon. Bye-bye.